Hi, a very good afternoon, everyone. I hope my voice is audible to all the participants. So, a very warm welcome for day two on your machine learning session. In today's session, we will be having a lot of practical concepts along with identification of how data is collected, how data is processed, as well as how machine learning is implemented in order to extract the information from the data. And finally, how we can make use of the models or the mathematical equations, or else you can also call it as the knowledge which is extracted, how we can use that knowledge in order to implement that with a website or to make an application or a product related to it. So that's what we will be doing. So I welcome all the participants from SIRT Bhopal, all the faculty members from SIRT and other relevant colleges. I would also like to invite. I would also like to invite all the people, those who have been associated with RGPV anyhow, so you all can get connected and can get started with today's program. So let's go for it. So I'm going to share my screen with all the participants. I have quickly specified the objectives. The major objectives which we will be doing it today would be we will be working out on data collection, as well as we will be working towards how telecom users actually, how telecom providers actually collect the data from users, and after accessing that data, how that data can be used to extract valuable information. So that we will be doing it. So I'm just taking you all to the steps what we have to do. So initially, before we proceed further, just to give you a quick recap of what all we have done yesterday. Yesterday, we have understood about what is machine learning, and we have understood four important stages of machine learning. And these stages were what happened in data, why did it happen, what will happen in future, and how do we make the best happen. So our role is to implement all these four stages. So once we will be able to implement all these four stages, we will be able to extract the knowledge out of the data. So let's say you will be having data available, and our object will be to extract the knowledge out of it. So once we'll reach out to the knowledge, we can use that knowledge in order to integrate that with applications and products, and that can be used by the end users. So today you are going to get a complete insight about how telecom industry works, how the telecom data is generated, how our data, which is the user's data, is actually collected at the telecom servers, and then it is shared with the data service providers. And those data service providers share the information to different businesses, and how using that information, specific ad targeting, fraud detection, and there are various other things which actually happen. So how they are diagnosed and how they are implemented, that we are going to understand today. So guys, let's go for it. As well as I have also told you a couple of information about how we will be implementing machine learning. So I have shown you a model. This will be the process which we have to implement, where we have to select the data, we have to process the data, then we have to transform the data into a logical scale which can be compared. Then we have to apply algorithms on the data, and that process is known as data mining. And finally, we have to interpret and evaluate the algorithm's result using graphical accuracies, and there are various other graphs which we will be designing in. Using that patterns, we will be able to extract the knowledge. Okay, so this is going to be the benchmark strategy which we will be using in our training in order to extract the knowledge. Similarly, with respect to knowledge discovery process, there are two more models which you all can use. The second model is cross-industrial standard process for data mining. It also has the similar stages. Initially, you start with understanding the business, then you data, you prepare the data, finally you model the data, which means you apply algorithms on that data. And once you apply the algorithms, you're going to get the losses and you're going to get the accuracy of calculation. Using that accuracies and using that losses, we can perform evaluations by generating the graphs and understanding what all information has been extracted. And finally, we can deploy that knowledge or that mathematical equation or the algorithm with a website or a mobile application. So so that the end product can be given to the users and they can use it. So this is cross-industrial standard process for data mining, and this is generally implemented in the industry. So guys, let's see, we will be using this strategy of business understanding. First, today I'm going to tell you how business understanding of telecom industry will be done. So I'm going to explain you each and every stuff of that. Then you will understand the data which is available to you. Then you are going to prepare the data so that you can perform analysis on it. Once it is processed, we are going to generate a model out of it. Generating a model means we are going to identify which mathematical equation is the best mathematical equation which can help in prediction of the outcome. Okay, and I'm going to let you know about what is an outcome, what are the input values. So we will be having a detailed discussion on it. Once we are done with applying the algorithms, we are going to perform evaluations. Evaluations are actually done with graphs. They are also done with mathematical accuracies. So we are going to evaluate the equations, and finally we are going to deploy that model, which means it could be a Python file or it could be a mathematical equation written in any programming language that has to be integrated with either a website or a mobile application. So that's what we will be doing it. Okay. So these are the stages which you will be implementing using Data IKU platform, as well as we will be using Pentaho very soon. Pentaho is a tool which is generally implemented in the industry. And these are some of the stages which we have already discussed yesterday. So you can follow any of these three stages. All these three are very similar to each other. Just the basic differences are the recalling process within the stage and the backstack process. So in CRISP, DM, and SEMA, there are options that you can go back to the previous stage in order to improve the data or in order to understand the data better. Similarly, so here there is one more model which can also be used, which is known as sampling, which is equivalent to business understanding. Second is exploration, which stands for data understanding. Then modification of the data, which actually stands for preparing the data and modifying the data in such a way so that we can perform analysis on it. Then we have to model it. Model and modeling are pretty similar. This stage actually involves application of algorithm on the data. And finally, there is an assessment process. So what is an assessment process? It is actually an evaluation process where we are going to identify and compare the algorithms which we have tested on our data, and we are going to check the accuracies which have been identified. So when we will be comparing accuracies and losses of different algorithms, accordingly we will get to know which equation is the best equation, or else which algorithm is the best algorithm which can actually be used in prediction of the outcome or whatever is required, whatever solution we are looking for from the data or the facts which were available. So we will be implementing these stages. Now, I hope this is clear to everyone. The document which I am using, I would like to quickly convey you all that the document is available on a Trello card, and my Trello card I have already shared with all the participants. This is the direct link to the Trello card. And again, once again, I'm sharing to all so that it will be easy for everyone to understand how the stuff is going. Okay. So again, a very good afternoon, everyone. I have got a lot of good afternoon here, and I have got Stark Gaming has given me 40 rupees. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Stark. Okay, so guys, okay, so I'm getting certain revenues from my video also. Thank you so much. Now let's get back to the concept. So here, you all have quickly got to know that we have got certain stages which we have to implement. So if I directly tell you, if we have to keep this in mind, that if we are performing machine learning and how we have to do it, so you all have to keep four things in mind. आप लोगों को चार चीजें ध्यान में रखने की जरूरत है. पहली चीज, what happened in the data, which means performing statistics and identifying the information. Second is why did it happen. इसका मतलब हमें reasons ढूंढने होते हैं कि जो भी data हमारे पास अवेलेबल है उसमें जो भी फैक्ट्स हमें दिख रहे हैं उसके पीछे रीजन क्या था, ठीक है। थर्ड स्टेज होती है व्हाट विल हैपन इन फ्यूचर, जिसका मतलब है कि आगे फ्यूचर में क्या हो सकता है अगर हम उसकी फोरकास्टिंग कर लें या अगर हम उसका प्रोडिक्शन पहले से ही कर लें तो वो हमारे लिए बहुत ईजी हो जाएगा और नेक्स्ट whatever in the next whatever is going to happen in the future we'll be able to calculate it. And finally, how do we make the best happen, which means what are the best optimal solutions predicted which have been identified for the current problem situation. So guys, this is how we will be working. Now I would like to take you to the next part. Yesterday I have already given you all the instructions to create an account on Data IKU platform, which is your all-in-one end-to-end data science platform. And on this platform, we will be implementing our projects. In case if anybody is watching this session for the first time and they don't know where the Data IKU is available, you can quickly search on Google for dataiku.com. You can go to Get Started menu, and from Get Started, you can quickly start a free hosted trial. So guys, those of you who are available here, just confirm me on chat once how many of you all have actually got this Data IKU accounts ready. So just let me know by saying yes on the chat window so that I will get to know कि आप लोगों ने Data IKU के accounts बना लिए हैं. Okay, so I'm waiting for the participants just to confirm me how many of you have got Data IKU accounts. Just confirm me on chat by saying yes or something like that, and then we will proceed to the next part. Okay, great. So students have done it, as well as I would really request all other participants, you all can actually create an account on Data IQ with a free hosted trial. That will be very helpful for you. And even if you are a non-programmer, you don't need to worry. You will be able to implement machine learning very easily, okay, with the tools available. And even in the industry, these tools are pretty required. So in the industry, generally the solutions has to be developed and tested and analyzed in a very short duration of time. So for that, automated tools are generally used and preferred in the industry. Okay. So those of you who do not have Data IKU available, they all can get an account on dataiku.com. Now, so here you all have to log in, but we will be using it in a couple of minutes. Before using this platform, before performing machine learning, I want you all to be pretty focused again with respect to what is our objective with this machine learning training. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the objective of our machine learning training is to prepare a career in data science or machine learning. Okay. So again, I'm taking you to the opportunity which we have been discussing. So let's say with Reliance, we have taken this opportunity as our objective. And under the Reliance Communications, there are options for data analyst positions. They are currently hiring for data analyst positions. And I've already told everybody about this, that the major objective is to define and drive mobile user data analysis. This is the main objective of a data analyst when he works in a telecom industry. So we are going to understand about the fundamentals of machine learning with telecom industry as our objective and with one project as the internship project for machine learning, which will be relevant to the telecom industry. Okay. Now, so just to, if you all want to read this information, I'm sharing the information with all of you. Okay. So if you guys would be needing this information, you all can quickly read about it and you'll get to know a lot about how telecom data scientist actually works and what are the responsibilities and the skills required. Now, so I'm going to introduce you a little about telecom industry. I have shared a link with everybody on Trello, And again, I'm going to share that with all of you. So apart from this telecom data set which you will be using, let's say we are going to have a quick introduction to telecom data initially. Okay, and this is a part of business understanding. Okay, as I've told you, under the crisp DM benchmark or approach of machine learning, the first stage is business understanding. And to understand the business, we have this option which we will be using, which will be our telecom data introduction. So you all are going to understand a little about telecom data initially, and then you will be able to implement the stages. तो चलिए मैं आप लोगों को लेके चलता हूँ towards the telecom data. So जब आप इस आर्टिकल को ओपन करेंगे on this website, datatrade.ai website, what this website is a website which handles various telecom data APIs, datasets and databases. So which means अगर आपको telecom users की information fetch करनी है, if you want to fetch the information of telecom users, so there are various companies who keep a collection of the telecom users data and then they sell that data on this particular platform. Okay, so the data is a valuable data. So whose data is it? The data belongs to our people from all the different countries. Let's say in case if you want to see the companies who are actually offering data set for individual companies or individual countries, so you can see that there are various companies who provide individual telecom data for various different companies in order to perform the analysis. Okay, so what do they get in return? They get a lot of money in return depending on what kind of data they are providing to the users. So for example, you can see that let's say there is one company P3 Insight, which is a data provider which offers mobile network coverage and telecom data for the Germany country. Okay, so we are going to quickly see the provider, what is he selling, and you can see that there would be certain pricing which over which he will be selling these services. So it would be like maybe we have to define which country we would be using. Let's say I would like to use India as my country. Maybe do you want to have any alternate data provider? We'll say yes. Okay. So similarly, somewhat like that. Okay, so that is going to send me a request. I'll just quickly get back. I just wanted to show you the price of the relevant data. So let me just quickly get back and show you again. Okay, here. So I'll just quickly show you. Let's say there is a company, Broadband Career Vision, and it is trying to sell the specific information for this. Let's say what has happened to them. Why they are not sharing the price. Okay, you will get to know about it in a moment. So people are actually collecting this data. The telecom service providers are collecting the data and they are selling it on the platforms like datatrade.ai, and there are various other platforms where this data is sold for developers, for machine learning engineers, for different product designers and manufacturers, so that they can perform an analysis on the users, and by building those strategies they can sell the products, they can market the products, they can create relevant advertisements. These advertisements could be region specific advertisements, and it could be user behavior specific advertisements. So all these things are being done behind the scenes in the industry. Okay, so my objective is to let you all understand how all these behind the scenes part work, how our data is actually collected and calculated, how it is processed and evaluated, so that some other businesses in the world would make the most benefit out of it by selling their products to us. Okay, so the role of a data scientist here is to have this data from the end user or from a mobile user, analyze its user behavior, and depending on his user behavior, like his gender, his educational qualification, his interest towards the websites, his past purchase behavior, so there could be so many things which can be evaluated for a particular user, and depending on that, especially maintained data can be provided to a business, and that business can sell the products to us. Okay, So somewhat like this, a data analyst does in order to provide the relevant information to the business. And it's not just about generating the money, it's about improving the services also. So that all you need to understand. So just you have to come to the bottom of this article, and under this article, you will see there is an ultimate guide to the telecom data 2020. Under this telecom guide, what exactly we do have is you will get to know about what is telecom data, who uses the telecom data, and what are the use cases of the telecom data. This is very important for us to understand. So being a data analyst or being a data scientist, it is our responsibility to have a better business understanding. Once we will have appropriate business understanding, only then we will be able to build up a right product for our customer. Okay. So if we follow the approach of cross-industrial standard process for data mining, in that we have to understand the business first. And in order to understand the telecom business first, this guide could be very helpful for you. Okay. Now, it also discusses about what are the different types of data attributes are available, which we can process in order to reap important information. Then this one is very important. How is telecom data collected? That is what we need to understand. Okay. And once we have got the appropriate data, we will see certain use cases that how companies are actually transmitting this data or selling this data in order to make plenty amount of money. Okay. So we will be working towards that direction. So let's see. So just to give you a quick little information about what is telecom data. So telecom data is the data available from the telecom industry. This data includes the data of mobile users, and the data is available in three specific categories. It could be the telecommunication data, it could be the application specific data, and the operating system specific data. Okay, so this is the telecom data. And telecom data actually covers a lot of information, like whether a user is roaming, what is his region, where does he stay, what kind of websites he visit, what kind of search queries he made. Okay, so a complete user behavior can be calculated in the telecom data. Now there will be certain use cases, and who actually uses the telecom data, that is what we need to understand initially, so that we can, once we will be able to understand the business properly, फिर हम उसके बाद में, after that we will be easily able to perform machine learning on the telecom data in order to make some good products. Okay. Now, so here, what and why is telecom data used? So you can quickly see that telecom data is reliably used by the telecommunication companies and other businesses. Okay, so the telecommunication companies collects the data. They also use the data to improve the services, as well as they sell the data to the other data service analyzers and the service providers, which can further transmit the data to the businesses. Okay, this is meant to improve the quality of the services, as well as to perform ad marketing and to perform advertisements, region specific, gender specific, and various user behavior and demographic specific. Okay, so how whatever data is collected, how it can be processed. So this data is actually processed with machine learning algorithms. The data of our mobile phone users and other applications is processed using machine learning algorithms in order to derive the critical insights. So when it comes to critical insights, what do we mean by critical insights? It means extraction of knowledge. Okay, you can quickly consider this statement, critical insights, as the extraction of knowledge from the telecommunication data. That is what we need to do. Now here, as you all can see, even traditionally, telecom data has always played a greater role in marketing and sales department. So telecom data is majorly useful because you can consider this data as a data of the customer. Okay, and mobile phone is one of the best thing which can actually give the complete information about you. Even you don't know the complete information about you, which a mobile phone does know in today's scenario and in today's date. So what they do, generally these telecom service providers, they extract the critical insights so as to improve their own services as well as to provide the marketers and the sales departments the appropriate data of the consumers, which could be the best consumers for their product or services. Okay. So here in the industries generally, in every business, there is a customer relationship management system available nowadays. You name a company and definitely they would be having a customer relationship management system. Only then they are able to interact with their consumers and they handle the leads and they convert the leads into the probable prospects and the customers. Okay. So what AI can do or the telecom data can do, this telecom data with the machine learning algorithms can be processed in order to help the CRM systems or the sales teams or the salespersons to convert the leads into the business, okay, or convert the leads into the consumers. So this is one of the major use cases of telecom data, in which telecom companies identify the information of the user in order to market products to them, in order to introduce them with the sales strategies as well as improvement of the services. Okay, this is one such use case. Similarly, there are other use cases possible, and the second use case which you can see is threat detection. Now what happens is there could be other scenarios. Let's say if I am a marketer, let's say, or let's say if I'm a application developer, I have made an app and I have released it on marketplace so that users can download the application and start using it. Now uh, to download the application and to boost the download, what I have done, I have made certain advertisements and I have started showing those advertisements to the users. Now what could happen, there could be a possibility that there could be bots or there could be some fake traffic generators which can actually generate fake clicks on the download of my advertisement, and they may not even download my app. So what could actually happen, I would be paying a lot of money unnecessarily to the non-human traffic. Okay, so this is considered as a ad fraud. Okay, so if somebody performs fraud clicks over the advertisement, it may be possible, in case if we don't have machine learning algorithms, or else if we won't be able to process the user behavior properly, it will be a very big loss for the advertiser, because he's not getting a customer, but still he is paying for the ad clicks. Okay, so how this can be avoided? To avoid this, there are various companies those who offer threat detection solution. So there is one such group, entity data, entity group. There are so many other companies those who actually collects the telecom data, and what they do, over the analysis of that telecom data, they offer managed security services. Okay, which consists of vulnerability management, threat intelligence, and there are various other security metrics involved in the data. So what they generally do, let's say they will be able to identify the user behavior, and then they will be able to identify whether this was a fraud transaction or whether it was a fraud process. So that can be easily identified if there is a machine learning algorithm analyzing all the patterns of the user data. Okay, so this is the second use case, threat detection. Similarly, there is a third stage of improved services, in which the telecom data is used by the service provider companies in order to outperform the competition, in order to identify how many calls have been blocked, how many calls have been dropped, and things like that, so that they can improve their services, they can increase the bandwidth of the services, and so many other things can be done. Okay, so this can be also considered as a capacity planning, equipment monitoring, as well as preventive maintenance to ensure the performance of the service. Okay, so this is third category, that with telecom data this can also be done. And finally, this is very important, the customer 360. Customer 360 is nothing but identifying each and every information of a customer. So as you all know, there are so many mobile subscribers in India as well as in the world today. And I'm going to show you a metrics by TRI. TRI is the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, which actually maintains the telecom industry and the telecom data. So what they do have is, using that information, the demographic data of the user, like the education skills, his interest, his regions, his location, all that can be identified. His sentiment analysis on the social media interactions can be extracted out of that. Calling the circle data as means identification of the relevant people or the associations over the network, let's say performing clustering or identifying the people with similar behavior or identifying the relationship with the others using this telecom data can also be made and maintained. As well as today the browsing data is also collected by the telecom providers. Okay, historical data of your usage of your mobile phone, your Google searches, your Facebook posts, and everything can be analyzed. Okay, so I'm going to show you a practical demonstration on that, that how can we actually perform this data collection. And everybody says that today we make use of HTTPS and every data is transmitted with an encryption key, so the data is end-to-end encrypted and nobody can see the data within during the transmission. But I would like to clear this in all your mind, that all the data whatever you generate from a mobile phone or from any digital device which is connected to internet anyhow, either with uh, either with GPRS, GSM, or any other network connectivity, all the data is being processed by the telecom service providers. Okay, so you will get to know about it. So how this demographics and all this information are collected. So now there are certain good use cases for this. So once the demographic data of the user has been identified, it can be used to target the region specific users. Okay, so which means, let's say in case if I have a company in Delhi and I would like to target the people staying in Delhi who have the educational background of, let's say, BTech or something. Let's say if you all are from Bhopal, so I will say Bhopal or Madhya Pradesh. So I will say, let's say if you guys are staying in Bhopal and I would like to make a region specific offer to the people only in Bhopal, then we can make use of this telecom data and can make out the targets, and we can quickly serve the products and services to that region specific user. As well as the browsing behavior can also be identified, and this browsing behavior is generally used to target the ads on the social networking platforms. Okay, so you might be thinking that, let's say if you have a Facebook account and over the Facebook account, what you generally do, you have been, let's say you have visited one website. Okay, now you have visited that website has stored cookies in your browser, and now you go back to facebook.com, and there you actually see that you have visited to a certain product related website and now you are getting those ads. So what do you think, Facebook is trying to read the cookies of some other website? That is not possible. Every website has only access to their own cookies and to their own websites, which means, let's say if I have made a website, I don't have access to cookies of facebook.com. Okay, so how then Facebook is able to identify that I have visited that website and I should see those particular ads, I might be interested into that. So that is generally done where telecom data comes under the information. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about it, how all these things are generally done, and how data is collected at different repositories, and then after the algorithms, after the sharing mechanism, all the data goes directly to the marketer or to the advertisement agencies, which can actually help you target the consumer. Okay? So now, so we will be working out on that practically. You will get to know how every important information is being compromised, and used for the advertisement and various other improvements of the website. Now let's see. So I hope till here it is clear to everyone. So telecom data can help companies in predicting the user behavior and the preferences of the users, and this can help the businesses align their business strategy. Okay, so that is why telecom data is very, very, very important in today's scenario. Okay, but you might again think, I have this phone and is connected to some GPS, GSM network provider. What information he would be able to take? I must tell you, they can take up each and every information from you. Whatever you can think of can be quickly extracted in a moment. Okay, so we'll work out on it. So let's see. So just confirm me on chat once if all my voice, uh, if the things are clear. Just confirm me on chat. Till here, if you all are clear with the specific concepts that what we will be doing, you have understood the importance of telecom data, and now you will be understanding how we extract information from the telecom data. Okay, just confirm me on chat if this is clear to all of you till here. Okay, great. Now let's see. So let's go for it. Now let's proceed to how you will be extracting this information. Okay, and this is going to be very important for everyone. So now I'm connecting my mobile device with you. Just give me a moment. Okay, and for this demonstration, we will be having a couple of things. Uh, we will be having an attacker's device as well as we will be having a victim device, and I will show you how that exact communication data is extracted and how then it will be used for machine learning purposes. Okay. Just give you all a quick mobile device first. Okay, so I'm just installing the APK file. I'm connecting my device so that it is visible. Now I want all the participants, those who are connected to me, it would be great if you all can quickly start, if you can have your mobile phones in hand. So that will be pretty helpful for all of you to understand who captures the telecom data. Okay. As well as before I show you this practical demonstration, one more thing I want to show you before I proceed to it. So in India, let me just quick off important insights with you. Let's say TRI maintains the important data. So let's say you can quickly search for TRI data. So you can go to the website trai.gov.in, which is the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Okay. So Telecom Regulatory Authority of India maintains the regulations about what data can be used and how it can be processed by the businesses and the companies. Okay. So let's say if I quickly give you an example. So let's say there is a very common case in internet. Let's say if somebody wants to access a porn website. Okay. So what happens is, let's say if the TRI has regulated it that the porn websites are not allowed to be accessible in the country, so they will issue this regulation to all the telecommunication companies, those who are working on the telecommunication part. And after the TRI's regulation, the telecommunication company is going to interrupt your traffic so that you won't be able to open that website. Okay, so I think everybody knows about this particular thing. Now what generally happens is how that telecom company is capable of identifying what website you are trying to open and how they can block it. Okay, so if they can block one website, that means they may be blocking or they may be intercepting your other content as well. Okay, so yes, most likely all the content is intercepted, and it's not just that the telecom company is intercepting. There are so many different roles available of the people that have access to the data whatever is being transmitted. Okay, so it may be different, that it's not possible, it may not be possible that each and every company would be accessing that data, but if they want, they can easily access it. Okay, so just to give you a quick information, let's talk about India for a couple of moments. In India, this is the website of TRI, where the subscription reports are available for our India. And let me just quickly share that with all of you. So here, when you reach out to this, on 31st January 2020, telecom subscription report was available, where we have the telecom subscription data. So you can quickly click on download this PDF file, and you can quickly see that as by 8th May 2020, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India has released a press release, and in that they have defined the total telephone subscribers in millions. So there are 1,156 million wireless telephone subscribers. Okay, out of which 644 million are from urban and 511 million subscribers are from rural background. Okay, so you can see that in case if you want to identify the people who are connected with the telephone authority, or let's say with a mobile phone, they are approximately 1,156 million in India. Okay, now secondly, the document which I am using here, let me just quickly add it on your Trello cards also, so that it will be easy for you all to understand the importance of how telecom industry and data analysis is very important for you, and you can take it as a good career. Okay, so try India subscriptions information. So I'm just adding it here on the Trello card, so that the links will be available for you all to have access in future. Now, out of which, how many of them are broadband subscribers? So there are approximately 654 million broadband subscribers. Now, in case if you want to quickly see the total telephone subscribers in December and how they have increased in January, all that information with respect to their city-wise information, in every city, what is the total overall tele density? So by 31st January, you can see that this is the telephonic density, in which Delhi is the state where 280 million users are actually using the wireless and the wireline networks, followed by Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Punjab, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and so on. And the least is in Bihar, okay, with respect to the number of states which is written over here. So you can quickly go through with the report, and you will be able to understand about the wireless segments with respect to every specific circle categories available in India. And you'll get to know how many users are actually utilizes these services. And these are one of the best target points. And here by 31st January, this is the market share. Okay, so market share of the wireless subscribers are Reliance Jio actually has 32% stake. MTNL, BSNL, MTNL has nothing like 0.29% stake. Most of the MTNL business is gone. Other than Reliance, you have two competitors, Vodafone Idea as well as Bharti Airtel. Okay, and then you have BSNL, which is 10.32%, which is the net additions in wireless subscribers of access service providers in the month of January 2020. Okay, and you can see that these are some of the predictions, the number of increment of users with Reliance Jio and the decrement of users in Vodafone Idea, and very small intake with Bharti Airtel and that. Okay, so these are some of the reports which have been generated depending on the subscribers. So who generates these reports? The data analyst and the person who actually works on machine learning and data science generate all these reports, and finally he can predict what can happen in the future. And if they are able to predict in future, a lot of things can be done. Okay, so here there is a very important term written, which I'm going to explain you as soon as we proceed further. This is very important when it comes to extraction of the data of a mobile user. Okay, so these are the service area wise percentage of VLR subscribers, and VLR actually is the location register. Okay, so location register actually contains the information as soon as a user registers on a network, which means as soon as you put a SIM card on your phone and you turn your mobile phone on, automatically your registration will be done with a network. Okay, so your service area will be actually identified where you are available. Now let's see. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Now followed by, there are certain growth and some other metrics which will be useful for you to understand in future. So this is one thing. So in India, there are around 1,156 million subscribers which are using. Now, I just want to show you one company which you will be pretty uh, happy to see. There is a company known as Talking Data in China. Okay, and why I'm taking this company and why it is very important for you all to note this information as a data scientist or as a machine learning engineer. So if you all can quickly go to this website, Talking Data, just go with the website using translate this page because this website is in China. Okay. And I'm going to share the link with all of you on YouTube also. Okay. Just reach out to this, open your website. Now, what this website offers, this website is actually a marketing platform. Okay. And this is based in China. So you all have to open this. I will directly go to Talking Data just to quickly show you what these telecom providers, after they are accessing this information, what are they selling? Okay, and why is it important for us to know about it, and how we will be able to implement all these things practically in order to have the collected data and sell it to the marketers after analysis. Okay, so let's see. So let's say Talking Data is a leading smart data platform, and what it generally does, it works on a couple of sections, which means application analytics is one such part. This company is in China, and this generally works towards China and other relevant telecom providers. So this is one example. In every country, there are data service providers, those who collect the telecom information of the consumers of that particular country, and then they sell it to different businesses. Okay, so this is what you all need to understand. So there are two things which I would like to quickly show you. There is one smart marketing cloud, which actually contains all the massive data sets to improve the precision of the advertisement and marketing in the China area. China, considering world's biggest number of population is in China, so a lot of money is involved in this data process. Okay. Moreover, similarly, secondly, you have India, which has the largest number of people after China. So India is also a very important segment. And as of now, you can see there are four top makers: Reliance Jio, Vodafone, and Bharti Airtel. And they have approximately, let's say, 32%, 28%, and 28% share of the complete wireless subscribers available in India. Okay, so this is very important for all of us to understand. Now let's see. So once we go to ad tracking, let's say here are certain facilities. So what these telecom providers do, they collect our information. After collection of the information, they apply machine learning algorithms on it to extract the important information about the users, and then what they do, they sell this information to people, to the businesses. Okay, so let's say they have analyzed the return of interest and a lot of things like anti-cheating, etc. As well as now what they are doing is 9 million clicks information of the users, 20 million clicks information of the user, all these kinds of information is being sold to the businesses. So what businesses can do, let's say if I'm from education business and I want to reach out to the education consumers, what I can quickly do, I can go to a platform, a data sharing platform. I can get access to the data of the educational consumers, which these telecom industry providers and the data service providers have analyzed. They will give it to us and we can quickly use it. Okay. So now there are two questions which you may be asking. The first question is, if I become a data scientist who is capable of reading the telecom data and analyzing the telecom data, what will I be doing? So if you want to go for a service, you can work with a telecom company, analyze them and generate a lot of profits for them by processing the data and making it ready for marketing and for identifying the appropriate user behavior so that it can be sold further or it can be used for resale of the new products. Second, if you are a startup, what you can do, if you are a startup or something, you can become a data service provider in which you can collect the data from telecom industry, you can process it with your machine learning algorithms, or else you can make applications which can improve this analysis, and that analysis can then be sold to the businesses. So in both ways, the data analyst has a very great option when it comes to telecom data. So either the service or the startup, you will have both the options available. Okay. Now let's see. So this is one such example. So they are trying to identify each and every information, right from everything like your location specific services. So you can see that the full advantage of populations data, depending on their geographic data, their economic data, from their purchase behavior, what kind of products they buy, all these things are actually identified, combined, and then classic machine learning models and predictive algorithms are implemented on it in order to improve the location related decision making for the businesses. Okay, so this is what we have to do. This is our final objective, to process the telecom data so that we can make it location specific ready, we can make it marketing ready, we can make it ready for a marketing intelligence platform which other subscribers can use. Okay, and consider one fact. Let's say we all are in computer science and engineering. Okay, let's say CSIT and the relevant branches. So you can consider we are 1% of the total population. Out of this 1%, uh, how many of them are good with mathematics and the programming skills? Again, 1% out of that 1% of CS. So what could happen? The numbers will gradually increase with respect to, after that, if you will try to identify out of these good people, those who know a little programming, how many of them are interested with data science. So they are again 1% of that stack. Now, so what I want to convey is data science has a very limited number of professionals at the moment, and the target scope is worldwide. Okay, so there are a lot of opportunities in data science. If you will be able to understand the algorithms well, you can actually make profitable and marketable products. Okay, and these products could be nothing but analysis over the data and providing the appropriate information to the end user, and for that you will be getting paid. Okay, and you won't be paid less, you will be paid pretty hefty for these kinds of development of the products and the services. Now let's see. So this is one thing which is very clear. Now you might be thinking, so let's say there is a platform talking data who's collecting some data, performing analysis on it. Now the question is from where they are getting the data. Okay, so for that I would like to actually make a diagram for all of you. Before I proceed further, I would like to make a diagram for you so that you all will be clear with the little insight about how things actually happen. Okay, so here I'm going to draw a quick diagram for all of you. Let's say we have, let's say, a telecom service provider. Okay, let's say I'm going to call it as a telecom SP, service provider. Okay, and you can call it as Geo, you can call it as Airtel, anything like that. Okay, apart from that, we have different consumers. Let's say we have northern region, southern region. Okay, so north, south, east, west, four regions I have created for you. Now, out of all these four reasons, let's say we have the C. C will be standing, will be known for customers. Okay. So let's say we have four different consumers. Let's say C will stands for customers, and telecom SP is your telecom service provider. Okay. Now, what generally happens? Let us just quickly understand. So the diagram which I'm showing you here, I'm going to demonstrate that for you practically also, that how from your mobile phones the important data is extracted and it is stored on central data sets. Those data sets we will be accessing and analyzing with machine learning equations. Okay. So let's say all this data from the consumers will be sent to the, let's say, the telecom and the telecom service providers. Now, these are all the customers available with the telecom data. What next we do have? On the other hand, there is another entity, and let's call this entity as the industry. Okay, you can call it as business or industry. And if I give you an example, let's say we can have education industry, we have information technology industry, okay, IT industry, और let's say there is advertising industry जिसमें आपके सलमान खान, शाहरुख खान, अमिताभ बच्चन सब काम करते हैं. Okay, so you have the film industry, a lot of things. Okay, goods industry. So one good article also I would like to share. So in order to understand how many types of industries are there, there is a very nice article which is known as ICB benchmark. Okay, ICB benchmark is also known as industrial classification benchmark. I'm going to write it here for you. It is industrial classification benchmark. Okay, एक PDF फाइल है जिसमें आपको पूरे वर्ल्ड की जितनी भी कैटेगरीज ऑफ द कंपनीज हैं उसका इंफॉर्मेशन आपको मिल जाएगा. ओके, और मैं एक बार आप लोगों को दिखा भी देता हूँ दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज. ओके, so just let me show you. So here if I quickly go to google.com, just bear with me for a moment, let this text be here because I have to continue the diagram. So on google.com what you can do is you can quickly search for industry classification benchmark, and here there will be a PDF file, industry classification benchmark FTSE Russell. Okay, so I will be sharing the link to this PDF file to all of you. This will actually help you all understand. Okay, here is the PDF file which I have shared with all of you on chat, as well as I'm sharing on the Trello card also. This is very important for everyone. Industry classification benchmark. This will actually help you all understand how many types of industries are available, and within each industry what kind of products and services are dealt with. Okay, so that you will be able to understand that in case if you have to do appropriate business, how will you be able to do it. Okay, and what all areas you can use machine learning. So I want to save it for a moment, and here I'll take you again to the industry classification benchmark. So under the industry classification benchmark, you all have to go to the 6th section, which is structure and definitions. And on page number 9, it is listed. So if we quickly go to page number 9, here you have the complete categorization of the industries. Okay, so it starts from here. So first, I'm going to quickly make you understand how to read this document. So what generally we do have is, let's say we have a big industry, oil and gas. So there are certain categories of the industry: oil and gas. Second is basic materials industry. Third is other industrial sectors. Okay. Fourth one is consumer goods industry. Fifth type of industry is healthcare industry, and followed by consumer services industry, telecommunications industry, okay, utilities industry, and financial industry. These are some of the broad categories of the industries. Okay. Then you have the technology industry, and within each and every industry we have various different subsectors. Okay, and the definitions of each. So now let's say if I talk about, let's say if I quickly give you an example of let's say technology industry would be a better example for you all to understand, or else, yeah, first I'm going to give you an example of technology, then I'm going to give you an example of our telecom industry. So in a technology, there is technology super sector, and categories like software services, which actually is internet services, software, and the computer hardware. And what each section of the company actually does, let's say if I talk about a software industry, so software industry will do in this software for home or corporate use. This excludes the game producers, produces the toys. Okay, so what exactly they do build, you can quickly about it. Okay, so this document is very, very important for all of you, because what it can do, it can give you a complete insight about the industries, the subsectors and the super sectors within each industry, what exactly a subsector does in that industry, you can get to know about it. So this can help you prepare appropriate products, search for appropriate business clients on internet so that you can make a machine learning product and you can sell it to them. Okay. So this is just for your information about the industrial classification benchmark. And now I'll quickly get back to here. So I was talking about the industries, and you can actually refer to different types of industries and their categories and what exactly is done using this industrial classification benchmark. Now, what will exactly be done? So here is the role. Okay. So all your data will be collected by the telecom industry, and you can call them as midway data service providers. Okay. The DSP could be considered as DSP is data service provider, and this could be an example like talking data, which I have shown you. So what they do, your telecom industries, whatever data they get from the customers, they sell it to the digital service providers, and these digital data providers actually sell it to the industry. Okay. And in return, what these industries they do, they actually make products. Okay. And they introduce it to the telecom services, and all these telecom services introduce the advertisements and the appropriate delivery of the ads to the consumers. Okay. So suppose you have Facebook. Facebook has made an ad platform. Now Facebook is going to target the consumers available with respect to the demographics on their own platform, but it is not limited to the data which you are posting on Facebook. It also consumes the data of your behavior on your mobile phone. Okay. And how all this data is collected from your mobile phone, that is a very big concern which we all have to quickly address now. Okay. So suppose I'm going to consider this as a mobile device. Okay. I'm a regular customer, and let's say I'm an Android user. Okay. So suppose being an Android user, what all I do, I make a phone call. Okay. I make a phone call. So this phone call data can definitely go to the telecom service provider. I can send an SMS that can definitely go to it. These are some of the telecom based services. Apart from that, what I can do, I can browse the websites. Okay. I can make use of apps. I can perform communication. I can have VoIP calls, video calls, and other stuff like that. Okay. So whatever these apps will do, this data will eventually be transferred via your services. Okay. Via SMS or phone call, and then again, sorry, not with SMS and phone call, with the GPRS data. Okay. So for this, I'm going to show you one diagram which will clear your complete insight about how this complete process actually is done and the data is being transmitted to the telecom service providers. Okay. So two things we will be discussing just after this image. So let me just quickly save this image, or else I'll do one thing. Let me just quickly make a circle here. Okay. And let's call it as your GSM, Global Systems for Mobile Network. Okay. So this is your GSM actually stands for Global Systems for Mobile. I'm going to type it here. Global Systems for Mobile. Okay. So which contains your 4G data, whatever you transmit, your GPRS data, and etc. Whatever type of communication you are making, this GSM network is responsible to handle everything. Okay. So you might be interested into having this, that how the data can be intercepted by the GSM provider. Now, one more thing I would like to quickly create on this. Let's say there is a website which we are trying to access. Okay. So suppose we have a website here, or let's call it as this website could be WhatsApp. Okay. Or anything like, for now, I'm going to show you demonstration with hackweather.in because WhatsApp would be like too risky for people. Many of the people could get compromised after this demo, so I don't want to discuss WhatsApp. I'll just access hack with a .in with you, but the process is pretty similar. Okay, now let's see. So what generally happens is you might be thinking that when you try to make a communication, what will generally happen? The the transmission should be in this way. Let's say if you make use of an app, you send it to the network send it to the telecom provider, the telecom service provider after the network finally lands up to the website. Okay, and you are sending your personal data to website hackwither.in. Then how will your data will be accessed by this midway service providers and the advertisers of these industry? This is a big concern. Okay, it could also be possible that this website hackwither.in can also sell the data to the industry for these people so as to give the consumers a specific advertisement or anything like that, but that will be limited. But telecom users have a major impact. And this brings me to give you an information. Recently, all have heard about that Facebook has invested in Reliance Jio. Okay, so what could be the objective of Facebook investing in Reliance Jio when Facebook is already $1 billion company? Reliance is also $1 billion company. Why would be Facebook paying to Reliance Jio? Okay, so that is because Facebook will directly want to access this 32% subscribers of India. Okay, and all that 32% subscribers information for advertisement process can be directly accessed by Facebook, their complete user behavior, which they are not able to do at the moment. They are only limited to handle this information of the Facebook users only. But once they have invested into telecom, other services, like in case if there is an urban user, he's not using Facebook, maybe he's not visiting Facebook, but he's visiting some websites or anything like that, or he's making some certain calls about any products, that information will be available with the telecom company and that can be shared with this Facebook or any other third party. Okay, and then it can be converted into the advertisement agency. And you all know, I believe, that Facebook depends 98-99% on the advertisements. Okay, Google in fact also depends more than 70-80% on advertisements. Okay, and their $1 billion revenue is actually generated from this user information. Okay, now so I think this part is pretty clear to everyone. Now I'm taking you to this two important segments. Okay, ये तो हमने बता दिया कि फेसबुक एक्सेस करता है इस डेटा को, but how this information can be accessed. Okay, so this is now I'm going to show you with the with certain practical demonstrations with a mobile phone. And I have saved this image and I will show it again for your reference. I will upload it on Trello so that it will be clear. So I'm taking you here now. So considering this phone, okay, consider we have a phone here. Okay, I'm going to simply turn on my phone just a moment so that it is visible to all of you. Okay, now there could be one question. Let's say we do have, let's say there is a telecom service provider. Okay, the question is how China and other companies access our data. Okay, and there could be other question, when we communicate in encryption, in encrypted packets using HTTPS. Let's say we all work towards HTTPS and end-to-end encrypted connections, then how this information can actually be accessed. So just to give you a quick understanding, I want you all to open your mobile phones. Okay. I'll just quickly keep my mobile phone here just for your information. Here. So you all can open your phone and you can quickly, you have to understand that how this data from this phone will actually be processed by these companies when I'm sending it to somewhere like maybe Facebook or WhatsApp or etc. or any other website. Okay. And I would actually call this particular section as the telecom provider, telecom service provider. Okay, now everyone, let's see. So you all have to go to the settings of your phone. आप सब लोग अपने phone के settings में जाएं. Once you all will go to settings, let me just quickly change certain settings here for you so that be able to look at. Okay, here. So I think the screen is visible to everyone appropriately. Now what you all have to do, you have to go to locations and security on your phones. Under location and security, there is a specific section known as security credentials. Okay, other security settings. There's an option, other security settings. You have to click on it. Under this option, other security settings, there are two important information available over here: security certificates and the user certificates. Okay, these are two important things. Now, what these security certificates are, these security certificates belong to these companies. Okay, and the user certificate could be any certificate which I have created for my application, and I'm going to show you how we use it in order to extract information from the HTTPS packets. Okay, and I'm going to give you a demo wherein, let's say, we are going to send some query to Google, or else if we are trying to log into a website with user and password, all that information can be fetched. Okay, so now let's see. So what will be done if we go to view security certificates? Okay, now you all can quickly see here, there will be a lot of websites. Let's say AC, firm. Just you go into your security certificate settings and just quickly understand what all companies are available over here. Okay, so you can see that we have a root certificate for Amazon installed on our device. We have root certificate for A2S. Okay, you have for Cert Plus. Along with that, you have for Commodore. As soon as you go down, you will get that for DigiCert. Okay, there are so many companies. Edicom. Okay, then we have GeoTrust, Global Sign, VeriSign, Government Root Certification Authority. There are certain other authorities like Hong Kong, Japan. Japan government has actually certificate on our mobile phone. Okay. Similarly, you will be having the certificates for China also. So I'm going to quickly show you. Here you can have China Financial Certification Authority, China Internet Network Information Center. Now, why these certificates are available on our phone and what these companies are, that we have to quickly check back. Okay, so let's say if I show you China Internetwork Information Center, if you quickly search for these companies and certificates, let's say I'll quickly search for China Internetwork. Okay, the name of that was China Internetwork Information Center. So let's quickly search here, China Internetwork Information Center, let's say. So what is that? So the China Internet Information Center is the administrative agency responsible for internet affairs under the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. So this is the government of China, let's say. They have a certain certificate on my mobile phone, which I am using currently. Okay. So now, why is it so much risky? So this is one such company. Similarly, you can search for all different companies available over here. Let's say you have Chunghwa Telecom Company Limited. Okay. What is that? Let us just quickly type in here. Chunghwa Telecom. So this is a company, is the largest telecommunications company in the Republic of China and the incumbent local exchange carrier of PSTN, mobile and broadband services in the country. Okay. So suppose this is a telecom company which is available in China, but they have a certificate installed on my mobile phone. Okay. I want to show you the the seriousness of these certificates which are available on our mobile phones. And this is not just one company, this is one specific from China. You will be having from so many. Let's say we have the certificates for goodid.com available over here. Along with that, you have from Hong Kong Post, then you have Japan government certification authorities available. And similarly, there will be so many certification authorities from different companies. Let's say again, we have a Starfield Technologies. So what is Starfield Technologies? Let us just quickly search for it. You will get to know. Starfield Technologies is a company by GoDaddy itself. So you have a certification from GoDaddy, you have a certification from Starfield installed in your mobile phone in the system directory. Why are these certificates available? Because let's say if I'm going to open a website, I'm going to send a domain name to my domain service provider. He is going to perform that DNS query. That packet has to be opened up. That packet has to be decrypted in order to quickly check back that to which site we have to transmit the packet. Okay. Then what do we need to do? In case if the packet is encrypted, then how it is going to get decrypted? So that for that, there is an SSL certificate installed on the phone. Even if your communication is end-to-end encrypted, but if there is a system certificate installed on your phone, that particular authority can decrypt your packet and can check what is happening. Okay. So in case if they fall between the network. Okay, are you able to understand which I would like to convey? So all kinds of websites, everything, whatever you're trying to open, there are certain certificates which are installed on your phone. Then you have from Taiwan, from various individual device providers, from Verizon, from Visa. Okay, there are so many certificates available. Now, now I would like to show you the complexity of these certificates. Now, similarly, I have created a user certificate for your information. And here is my certificate with the name Devanshu Shukla. I have installed it for my virtual private network and for applications. And what is it? It is a simple certificate which is installed on my mobile phone, and I have installed it just to show you the seriousness of what certificates are capable of doing. Okay. Now let's see. So let's say this certificate is installed in my phone, and now what can be done? Suppose if I make a connection to any of the services, you will be able to see that we can actually intercept these packets. Okay. So from where the data is being generated. So data is being generated. Once the packet is captured by the telecom authority to decrypt it and to understand what is happening so that they can quickly redirect it to the appropriate locations. Now, for this, we generally use a tool, and that tool is known as MITM Web. Okay. So you all, what you can do, you can actually make use of this tool, MITM Web, in order to capture the packets and capture the IDs and passwords and other stuff, whatever is being transmitted. So for this, I would like to quickly show you one more computer with which I'm going to perform my demonstration. So just you have to bear with me for 1 minute. I'm going to connect my another machine, and with that machine as my telecom machine and another my mobile phone as my victim, I would like to show you how that data will be transmitted and collected. Okay, and what all information from the telecom is being extracted. Okay, then you will be able to understand the data which we will be using for machine learning. So what I just want you all to understand, the complete business understanding before you perform data analysis. If you have the appropriate data analysis, business understanding, you will be able to filter out a lot of information from whatever data is available to you. Okay, so just give me a moment. I'm just connecting my another computer so that we can have a quick demonstration on that. Okay, So guys, by the time, in case if everything is clear to you, just confirm me on chat if till now all the concepts are clear to you, why the telecom data is very much important, and what are the depth insights behind it. So just confirm me on chat, and by the time I'm just connecting my another machine so that I can give you a complete demonstration of how this is happening. Okay, so I'm just connecting any desk. Just to quickly show you my another Windows machine with Wi-Fi installed, and I'm going to make it a telecom provider. Just I'm simulating a demonstration for you so that you all will be actually clear that how actual things are happening. Okay, so just give me a moment. We have to be on the same network, or we can be on this another network as well. Here it is 479. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just trying to connect to a remote machine. Okay. I hope this is visible to everyone. And just a little for the quality purpose, let me just quickly connect to a better internet connection. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, here. So what I have here for you is one machine that is going to be our Windows machine. Let us just, I hope you are able to view it properly. The views are clear. Okay, now here. So let's see. So I'll quickly show you a complete demonstration of that. So on one end, we have any desk available. On the second end, we have a mobile device available for you. Okay. Now what I will be doing instead, first of all, what I have to do is, let's say this is going to be my telecom service provider. Okay. So on a Windows machine, what all you can do, you can make use of Windows 7 or Windows 10, any of the operating system, whatever you want to use. Just everyone just confirm me on chat on YouTube if the screen is visible to you all, the Windows one, because only then I will be able to proceed further if you all are sure that my screen is visible to everyone. Okay, visible, great. Now let's see. So here, let's see. So first thing what we are going to do. First, we are going to, let's say, make a telecom network or a base station. So I'm going to create a simple Wi-Fi hotspot on my Windows 7 machine, and I'm going to depict it as a base station, okay, or the base station or a network tower with which I'm getting my connection, okay. So in Windows, it's very easy. We can actually make use of the following commands, and I'm going to quickly make it a little big so that it is visible to everyone. Okay. So here there are commands netsh wlan. You can set a hosted network. Okay. Here there is a command with netsh wlan. Let me just quickly show you what you can do with it. Okay, I don't have an internet working here. Okay, so you can quickly execute the command netsh wlan set hosted network. You can quickly specify mode is equal to allow. SSID is going to be subscriber identification, like the Wi-Fi hotspot name which you want to make. So let's say I'm going to call it as, let's say, Reliance. Okay, so let's say I'm going to get Reliance, and I'm going to set a key for this passphrase. Okay, let's say key is going to be ABCDE 12345. You can consider it as the Wi-Fi key. Okay, I want to pass enter to this. So I'm not sure why this enter is not happening here. Okay, I'll just pass it with an online keyboard here. Okay, so now somewhat like this, you all can quickly see what I have done here. I have quickly set a hosted network. I have set the mode to allowed. I have set an SSID as Reliance, and I have set a key ID and passphrase. Okay. Now what will be done? Let's say we have a mobile phone available over here, and I'm going to connect to that with this particular Reliance network. Let's say. Okay. So I'm searching for various options available over here in my network. I'm just going to refresh the network connections available. And one more command I need to use, net sh wlan start hosted network. So as soon as I start a hosted network on the mobile phone, very soon you will see there will be a Reliance network available. Okay. So now you can see that on Windows machine, I have created a Reliance network, and on my mobile phone, now I am getting a network known as Reliance. So you can simply consider it as a hotspot, but just a depiction that suppose we are connected to Reliance network, maybe. Okay. So here I have set the password as ABCDE12345, ABCDE12345. Okay, and I'm going to set certain advanced configurations. Under the advanced configurations, I would like to set up a simple proxy, and I'm going to set up a manual proxy. Consider this manual proxy will be with an IP address, and that belongs to my telecom network who's going to receive my packet. You can consider it as a gateway. So let's say in case if you are at home, you are using your mobile phone for internet. So your SIM card is connected to the base station. So the base station is the default gateway for your SIM card. And similarly, in my case, my Windows machine can be considered as a base station, and the IP address is 192.168.137.1 for that machine. And I can show you that. So if you put, yeah, so that is 192.168.137.1. And suppose I'm going to set a proxy port as port number 80. Okay. Now, once we're done with that, I'm going to make a connection to the Reliance network. So once I'm making a connection to the Reliance network, now you can see we will be connected to that particular network. And now whatever packets we will be transmitting, let's say from here to any of the websites, it will go to 192.168.137 first, then it will go to any other network provider. Okay. So just to quickly show you, on App Store, you can download an application known as Trace Ping or anything like Ping Trace and Pro. Okay. So let's say if we go here, also I would simply like to confirm if I have my internet sharing on, so I can go to change adapter network, and I can quickly yes, I have my shared connection with the name Reliance here. So that is fine. So suppose on my phone, I would like to send a request from my current mobile phone to hackweather.in, suppose. Okay. So what exactly is happening? Here you all can see these are the requests which has been sent. On the right hand side on a mobile phone, here you have the complete information about hackweather.in. So this is the host name for hackweather.in. Control panel, webhostbox.net, where my website hackweather.in hosted. This is my current host, which is my mobile phone. Now you can see that the packet goes to my next modem. The modem forwards it to the next host, followed by to the MTNL host, then to different IP addresses. Okay. And all these can be considered as different systems which the telecom service providers have introduced, and using these systems, finally the packet reaches to our website. I hope this is clear. So all these computers, they could be firewall, they could be any service providers available for the telecom who are actually capturing all the packets and transmitting it to the next machine. Okay. So what they do, they actually try to read the MAC address part of the data, and generally it is believed that they don't read the application part. Okay. Just to transmit the packet. But in case if there is a certificate installed on the phone, okay, so any of the device which is between the client and the server, it can actually intercept the packet. Okay, so suppose I have this machine, Devanshu Shukla, and I'm going to install the certificate of that, let's say on the user device. Then whatever packet he is going to transmit from his device, the second machine will be able to intercept all the data from it. Okay, so just to give you a quick look, these are the host names, and I'm going to quickly show you the IP addresses here so that you can quickly relate. So you can see that this is my host, this is my 192.168.137.1, and followed by all the IP addresses. And finally, this IP address 192.185.129.82 belongs to my website hackweather.in. Okay, so once the packet is transmitted through a number of telecom service providers, it will finally reach to the destination. But consider the fact that the first for this IP address 192.168.137.1 is this particular device. So let me just close it. Okay. So I think this is pretty clear to all of you till now, that whatever data we transmit, it transmits from multiple number of packets. And suppose if there is a certificate installed, then what can be done? So I'm going to show you one example what this base station can do. Suppose this is going to be, suppose this will be the telecom service provider who wants to see the data what the mobile user is trying to transmit. So what he can do, he can quickly run a specific application on his particular machine, on a Windows machine, let's say. If I quickly run this MITM web, I'm going to open an application, and within that application on port number 80, whatever data will be transmitted from the mobile phone will actually be displayed to all of you here. Okay, so I'll keep it somewhat like this. So you can see that now what mobile phone is doing, it is trying to send certain packets, and these packets are generally, this is the phone by default, it is sending certain packets like checking whether the internet is available, whether the Google APIs are available. Now what am I going to do? Let's say I'm on my phone and I have gone to an application. Let's say I have gone to hackweather.in/121. Okay, you can see that as soon as I have opened hackweather.in/121, on the left hand side you can see hackweather.in has been identified, that certain requests has been transmitted from the mobile phone. So suppose if I quickly go to the main website again, let's say hackweather.in. Okay, I've reached to the website. On the left hand side you can see these packets are being captured for my website hackweather.in. Let's say I'm going to search for all the packets relevant to hackweather. Okay, so suppose I'm just filtering all the packets transmitted from hackweather.in. So once I click on it, now you can see that on the right hand side, I can see the complete packet information. Okay, so this you can generally see, and you can see this packet is an HTTPS packet, HTTPS www.hackweather.in. But what I want to say is, suppose if I'm on my mobile phone and I have reached to website hackweather.in, so my telecom service provider will get to know about it. And one more thing which we have to capture here now will be, once we are here, suppose we say that we are protected, we are with HTTPS here. At the very top, you all can quickly observe that this is an HTTPS request. It is protected with HTTPS, which means end-to-end encrypted. The data is transmitted with an encryption format. Now, what will be done? Okay, so suppose I type in a password here. Suppose I'm going to type in admin@hackweather.in, and I'm going to specify my actual password, let's say DEV123. Okay, and I'm going to log into my application. So suppose I try to log into my application, I've got login successful, and you can see that on the left hand side here, we have got a packet transmitted. Okay, So you all can quickly see that I am a mobile user. The internet is working on my site. I am accessing different devices, different applications, whatever I'm trying to search here. Okay. And on the left hand side, any intermediate machine is capturing all the data which is transmitted. So suppose an hackweather.in request has been sent to login with HTTPS security, which means the packet was encrypted, but still you can see the mobile device or the telecom provider can actually intercept the data which is being transmitted, even if it is secured, even if it is secured. Okay. And whatever responses are being returned from that website, that also can be captured by this particular website, this particular telecom service provider. Suppose it is in between. So I'm a mobile phone user. I have sent a request to hackweather.in, but in between there was a telecom service provider. So he has captured the packet, and since he has the SSL certificate installed in the phone, hence he is able to decrypt the packets. Okay. So what exactly is happening? The email, password, and anything, whatever we are going to transmit, whatever we are going to write, whatever we are going to search, everything will be searched. Okay. So suppose I quickly open google.com. Okay. For you. Let's say I have opened google.com here. So once I open google.com, google.com is also protected with your HTTPS or anything like that. Let's say if I try to search for any of the services, let's say RGPV University, okay, anything like that. If I actually search here, and as soon as my this page gets refreshed at the very bottom, you will get all that. So since I have stopped it to filter only for hackweather packets, let me just remove it, and I will just quickly search for the Google packets now. Okay. So here you can quickly see that if I'm searching for only the Google packets under the query, here you can see that there is a specific query with RGPV which has been sent over here. You can see that. So there was a request has been sent. So this was a HTTPS request gone to google.com with certain search query like searching for RGPV, and that response is coming for internet. But any device in between, let's say neither it is the service, neither it is the end website, nor it is the user in between. Any of the device between the network can actually capture the packet and can see what is being transmitted and what all responses are coming in. So depending on this, it can be identified that the telecom data can store all this information, all these requests, use machine learning to process this text-based information in order to identifying meaningful information about the user behavior. Okay. So is it clear to all the participants till now? Please confirm me on chat if you all are clear up to this concept. Okay, just confirm me on chat if this is clear to everybody till here, that we do have there is a telecom service provider in between who can actually capture any of the data, whatever he wants. And similarly, on your phone, as I have again told you, on your phones, you have so many accounts and certificates available, which actually collects the information from different service providers and companies from China and from various other. Okay. Now comes the next part. So this is something, hacking demo also, which you can actually use for hacking users, but I will not suggest it to do that. Just to make you understand the complexity of how the businesses work. Okay. That is very important for you all to understand. Okay. Now let's see. So here comes the fact that how these things are actually working. So I would like to share one very important resource with all of you, so that you will understand the insight well. And this is the last part for the theoretical whatever discussion we had in order to make you understand the business understanding part. And here I will be sharing an article with you. Okay, so what you can do is you can quickly search for, there is a very nice article with Wireshark. Wireshark, you can capture the GSM, but you have GSM protocol. Okay, so there is a very nice article on wiki.wireshark, which is the GSM protocol family, and it will actually clear your complete insight about what all information can be stored with the telecom service provider. And one more thing which I will be sharing, which will open your insight with respect to the lost mobile phones. Okay, so here is the article, wiki.wireshark.org. Now here what is actually happening, this is the article. So once you open global systems for mobile communication, this is the actual network which works behind the telecom industry. Okay, and how is it happening? Suppose you have one machine at one end, this is your starting machine, and you have another network also. Okay, so this is, suppose this is the end device. So for application, I have already told you can capture the information like anything like IDs, passwords, and all the text data, whatever is transmitted, any query, everything can be stored by the telecom user. Apart from that, what is the actual process? Let's say if we are using a mobile device, let's say this is our mobile set. Using the mobile set, first a request goes to the base transceiver station. This base transceiver station sends the request to base station controller. Okay, and what is this? This is considered as the tower which is next to your house. So suppose you stay at Bhopal, and near to you there will be a base station, there will be a tower with which your mobile phone is connected and you get the network. So suppose you are using 4G, and you might be thinking, oh, I'm so much secure, I'm using 4G and I don't have any involvement with any attacker in between. But where your data is going, that is what you need to understand. Now, this base station actually connects with the core network circuit switch. Okay, this is the major network of PSTN, the public service for telecommunications network. Okay, it has two parts. One is the media gateway. Okay, I'll just mark it with red colors. Media gateway. What is media gateway? Whatever videos, which you will be transmitting, voice, everything is processed by this media gateway. Okay, apart from that, there is a switching center information available. Okay, this is known as gateway for mobile switching. This actually controls the call. Okay, so I'll just quickly type here whatever data you will be transmitting, like the data of the video, images, okay, voice, etc. That will be handled by MGW. And MSC, what it actually does, it is the mobile switching center, and mobile switching center handles the call control. Okay, so आपने क्या किया, आपने एक कॉल मिलाया, आपके फोन से कॉल बेस स्टेशन पे गया, बेस स्टेशन कंट्रोलर ने उसको मीडिया गेटवे को वॉइस भेजा और कॉल कंट्रोल के साथ में कम्युनिकेशन मेंटेन किया. अब ये जो मोबाइल स्विचिंग यूनिट्स हैं, व्हाट दे एग्जैक्टली डू, these mobile switching units actually interacts with these registers. Okay, और ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रजिस्टर हैं आप लोगों के लिए. बहुत ही क्रूशियल इंफॉर्मेशन अभी आपको मिलने वाली है कि जो टेलीकॉम सर्विस प्रोवाइडर है वो आपकी कौन कौन सी इंफॉर्मेशन को अपने पास रख सकता है. ओके, सो सेकंड, दिस इज द VLR एंड दिस इज योर EIR. ओके, अब ये होते क्या क्या है? This is your location register, this is your home location register, and this is your equipment information register. Okay, and this is your authentication for the client. So suppose if I register, if I am using a Jio phone, I will be automatically connected to the Jio network. So there will be an authentication will happen in the SIM card of Jio. There is an encryption code that is going to encrypt the data, and it is going to transmit that and at the server side, at the PSTN level, it is going to have that encrypted packet, decrypt it, and it is going to check the authentication, whether I'm a legitimate Geo subscriber or not. Once I'm there, he is going to store my location register information, home location register information, HLR. So this HLR lets him understand what is my location in a vicinity. Okay. So PSTN, let's say if I'm in Delhi and I'm making a call in Delhi, and Jio has their head office at Maharashtra. So anybody at Maharashtra in the Geo office with access to the PSTN can locate my location very quickly. Okay, because he will automatically know that what is my home location register, what is the information on my home location register. As well as you all would have experienced various issues like mobile phone lost. कई बार आप लोगों के मोबाइल फोन खो जाते हैं, ठीक है, देखा होगा, चोरी हो गया, किसी का इंफॉर्मेशन खो गया, तो उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन को रखने के लिए देयर इज अ EIR रजिस्टर एंड दिस इज नोन एज इक्विपमेंट इंफॉर्मेशन रजिस्टर. ओके, there is no second phone in the world which cannot be identified uh, where it has been lost, and as soon as it gets restarted again, whenever it is going to be restarted with any other SIM, with any other lock bypass, as soon as it gets registered on any of the network, the EIR information will be located, the equipment information will be identified. Okay, so this equipment information is the handset information which is actually identified. Now, if a telecom provider forces the mobile device to show the EIR information, then 100% the mobile phone is going to disclose its equipment identification information to this EIR register, and it can be located. Any of the lost mobile phone can quickly be traced out, but they don't do it. They don't force it by default because they get a lot of money by not requesting it. Because what generally happens with these lost phones, a large variety of fraud calls and things are done, which using which the telecom providers gain a lot of money. Okay, so you can read the complete article and you will get to know about it. So that is why they do not force it. But let's say if I say कोई एक मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट है, उनका कोई फोन चोरी हो गया, तो वो फोन फटाफट मिल जाएगा, बाकी और नॉर्मल आदमी का नहीं मिलेगा. वो इसलिए नहीं मिलता है बिकॉज they have the government authority and they can ask the telecom provider to give the equipment identification information. Okay, so when they are forced, they actually share the information, and if they are not forced, so they have the information but they don't share it. So this is very important, and we call it as equipment information register. Okay, any of the lost phone can be quickly identified with the equipment information stored in the register. Okay, now followed by this, all this information, the EIR information, the VLR information, the location register, the home location register information is sent to the SGSN. What is SGSN? This is your GPRS node. Okay, this is known as server GPRS node. Okay, so this server GPRS node, actually what it does, it then communicates back to other different services and transmits and communicates to the PSTN. So what they can do, the telecom service provider, if you are using a Geo network, if you are using that internet connection, even if the application is end-to-end, in order to successfully deliver it to the other network, they can open the information. So now the telecom data which you guys will be using for analysis, what it will have this information. It will have information for VLR, it will have information maybe for EIR, but in the data set, we may not have this. But let's say if you are working in Reliance Communications and you have access to the network for the data, then definitely you can see the EIR data. Okay. Moreover, then the HLR information, which is the location specific information of the users. So with this, what we can quickly identify, suppose there are n number of people here in this particular network. Okay, in a specific region. So we can actually get to know about their specific regions and their behavior with respect to the data collected. And with that, it can be quickly taken by the advertisers in order to quickly market and target the specific audience, region specific as well as behavior specific. Okay. So I hope this is clear to all the participants that how the technology works behind it. Moreover, in the same way, the all your calls are recorded. Okay, whatever calls you make, all these calls are recorded. And in this machine learning session, I'm going to show you once a call is intercepted, it can be quickly converted into appropriate text words, and then text analysis can be done in order to make the machine learning models and grab a lot of information. Okay, so practically in our upcoming sessions we will be doing all that stuff, but today my major objective was to make you all understand the complexity of the telecom service provider and understand the business, that how it is actually happening, because telecom business is one of the most money oriented business which is happening in the industry at the moment, and it takes nothing, just the information of the users has to be processed and the customer behavior has to be used for retargeting. And the major players in the industry at the moment are working over these segments by merging, by collecting the data of the people. So Facebook, as one of the biggest international advertisement company, it has access to WhatsApp where billions of records are available. It has access to Facebook, billions of users are available. Now what they are trying to do is they are trying to merge with telecom service providers as well, so that other potential information can also be brought in order to perform the appropriate marketing segment strong. Okay. So guys, for now, for today, we can consider it as done for today's session. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me. Today the session has been extended a little, but I believe you all would have got a lot of information about how things are actually happening behind the scenes. Okay. So once you guys will learn all these actual things, only then it will be pretty helpful for all of you in order to perform data science analysis and all that stuff in a pretty nice way. So guys, thank you so much for being available today. If anybody has any queries, feel free to post your queries and we'll be happy to answer. And within next 5-10 minutes, then we will close the session. And all the faculty participants, those who are connected with me, uh, I would, if you would like to speak to the participants or anything like that, please, you can go for it. Let me just unmute all the participants. Okay, so if you want, you can unmute, and if you want to speak or share any information to the users, please, you can go for it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir. All the participants are listening to you. If you want to say anything, you can please.
Okay, sir. Sir, thank you so much, sir, for today's session. It was very, very informative in various aspects. And machine learning and networks, there are so many things you have explained. I have not able to listen completely, but little bit I connect to you and I learned so many things also, me also. So in totally, it was very, very informative for all the participants, and I think all are enjoying the session.
Yes,
And
sir.
near days अभी और भी 2-4 दिन अभी हम लोग साथ रहेंगे, you they will also understand so many things. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity, sir. और कोई सर कुछ कहना चाहेंगे क्या, चेतन सर?
Yeah.
प्रियंका मैम?
Hello. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for the nice. आज का सेशन बहुत अच्छा रहा, क्योंकि आज हम लोग को काफी बिहाइंड द सीन्स कैसे वर्क होता है वो चीज समझ में आई, प्रैक्टिकल रियल एग्जांपल से. सो थैंक यू सर. एंड आज तो मुझे कुछ नहीं कहना है. एंड अटेंडेंस वी हैव ऑलरेडी फॉरवर्डेड. सो थैंक यू.
Okay, So, anybody else to say anything? Okay, I hope we are done. So that's all for the day. Let's catch up tomorrow to be able to 4, where we'll
ये चश्मा उठा देना, चश्मा चश्मा
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. The session was very wonderful, and you have given me such a lot information to our student also. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Please. You have been audible, I guess.
Yes, sir. Actually, the session was very nice, and it's very helpful for us also and for our student also. And thank you so much once again for a nice session given by you.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
Okay, everyone. So it was great to have all of you here in today's discussion. Tomorrow we'll continue with other serious discussions on handling the data, analyzing it, and utilizing it for various purposes to extract the knowledge and use it for business intelligence. So we'll meet tomorrow 2 p.m. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, sir.